G'day, welcome back. I'd especially like to welcome my new subscribers and I hope you enjoy the content on my channel. If you missed part 8 of my little model steam engine build my way, link up there now, go watch that first, then come back and watch this one. Alrighty, so as I promised in that last video, I'm really hoping to wrap this up in this episode. There's only a few little things left to do, so follow me over to the bench over there and we'll see just what there is to do. Well, there it is. It's almost a thing of beauty, I reckon. Some people, traditionalists like Mark Presley, don't much care for having brass bits here, but I personally like them. I kind of like the looks of the brass bits. And the fact this will never get run on steam, there's no issues with, you know, steam interacting with the brass. So what's left to do? I've got this gasket paper I bought. I need to make gasket for here, here and here. I need to drill and tap the top of this for one of these oilers. I haven't drilled that little hole down through here yet, so I've got to do that. What else I need to do? There's no clamp screw in here. I need to drill and tap that. I need to drill and tap the clamp screw for in here. Plus I need to resize this shaft a little bit, because now that I've remade this, it's a bit of a tight fit on there, so I need to just resize that a bit. It's not so friggin' tight on there. What else is there? Got to drill those holes up through those little machined out bits I put either end of the cylinder. Got to drill them in there. What else? There truly isn't that much to do. I've got to make the pin for here. I haven't actually got the piston in here at the moment. It's sitting over on the bench over there. Plus I need to make a proper screw for in here. Is there anything else? I don't really think there is. That's about it, I reckon. Plus patch up all my stuff ups and paint it. I'm going to just hang on a sec. Got some of this 2-pack epoxy putty. It sets pretty hard. I'm going to try and putty up that stuff up there and this stuff up in here, and also this bit just here is also a remnant of grabbing the wrong handle, so I want to putty that up a bit. Plus I'll bog up some of these little defects in the casting, so that when I paint it they don't look so bad. Don't know whether I want to finish trying to machine these bits out of here. I might just take to it with a die grinder or something and just try and tidy them up a bit before I paint it. But outside of that, that's about it really. But like I said, hopefully I'll get all that done this week and get it all painted so that it's finished and looking spiffy, and then we can, well, probably before I paint it I should try and see if it works. Get it to try and function properly on some air. Anyway, we'll get all those bits done. Alrighty, so first up, decided what I'll do is I'll set my tilting vise up so I can drill these holes from here down into here. So I've marked the side up of, you know, where the bottom corner of this is and the bottom corner of this slot is, and that's the trajectory of it there. Now there's something else I need to do, I forgot to mention it before, was I need to drill and tap a port for this little silencer to go in. But I just discovered a little a wee problem with drilling these holes all the way through here. It needs to go in, which face is it? This one here. Right, so I don't have a lot of depth to be able to screw that into without running into this. I'm drilling a hole through here is not that much of an issue. I'm going to go in that deep so I can get in through there. That's not a problem. But what I might do is make up a little M&F elbow out of a piece of the square so that this can screw in this way, and just put a little M5 thread or something on it to screw into here, so that this will sit up underneath it. You can't really see it anyway, but that might be the easiest solution to not break it into that hole, because if I break into that hole that'll be an issue. Well, it sort of will and it won't, but I don't want to break into it. Anyway, I'll get that tilting vise all set up. I'll get some holes drilled in this damn thing. Alrighty, so I've got this thing all centered up and ready to rock. It's got to have a 2.5mm hole drilled down through here, and to make sure I don't go through that damn port on the side here, I'm going to stick a little strip of aluminium can in here up in that slot, so that when the drill breaks through you should be able to feel it on here. I saw Mark Presley do that, but I've done it in the past as well. And you want to make sure you're not going too far in somewhere. My motor's getting a bit rattly at the moment. It's a problem, a bit of a wee problem. There it is, I just felt it break through into there. Alrighty, I might make you suffer through another one of those. I've got to drill the other side now, so I'll flip over and do that. Alrighty, so I've got both of them done, and whether you can whether you can see that down in there. Hang on, let me get that drill out of there and poke that up in there, maybe you can see that. Probably seeing better there. There it is there, poking up into the bottom. Poking up into there. Beautiful. Right where they needed to be. Just about bang on. Alrighty, so before I take this off, I want to drill the screw hole for the clamping screw on the flywheel, because it needs to be a little bit of an angle. Just I think it does. There's not a lot of room to get down into there, so I'll just kick it over just a little, come in on a bit of an angle to drill that. Alrighty, so after a little bit of experimentation, I've settled on this position here. I don't know what angle it is, it's just a little bit, enough to clear everything down through the side here. It's a wobbly old chuck, this thing. Everything wobbles in it. I'll get this in. Oh, we might. No, I won't. Oh, well. Actually, I've got something else I can use. It's not spring loaded, but it'll get me started. And if I follow it down, it'll keep it straight with a bit of luck. Shit, that's not tight. Oh well. Oh no. Oh you bastard. The outer's tight but the inner's not. When I first clamped it up, I caught the edge of this and I'd say it snapped it off. Dirty, rotten bastard. Oh God. I'm not having a lot of luck with this freaking thing, am I? You can see it there, it's moved. I'm going to try and sort that out. Maybe go back to putting a dollop of weld on it and grinding it off, because I'm not making another one. Alrighty, so dollop of weld on each one, although I did notice that one of them looks like a little crack in it. Can't see which one it is now. I think they should clean up alright. Just gave it a quick rub with a little wire brush there before, but I've got these little tiny grinding stones and some little sanding drums, although they don't last very long at all, those little sanding drums. So what I might do is put it back in the lathe and just take a light skim over it, take the tops off the welds, and then and make sure it's, and true it up again if I have to. It should be pretty good. It doesn't look too bad on this side, so I don't think it'll run out much. But anyway, hopefully I've rescued that, because like I said, I am absolutely not making another one. Alrighty, no cylinder hone, no problem. Piece of, actually broom handle that, but a piece of timber dowel. Just doing tap a hole in the end, screw something in the end of it, put a slot in it. I just used the hacksaw to put a slot in there, wrap it round there like that. Put it in your drill chuck. Now, because this is 19mm, just thereabouts, I'd machined that to 18.5, and then one wrap of sandpaper around that is more than enough. Hang on a sec, I'll give it a squirt of this. I'll polish it up a bit. Righty, that's a bit of 1000 grit sandpaper. About the finest I could get my hands on. Let's give it a quick clean out here. Look at that, bloody beautiful. That is more than smooth enough, I think. Don't need to polish it up any more than that. Oh, just put a little bit of oil on that. Hopefully that moves freely enough in there. Actually, I might give it just a little bit more, because that's a little stiff actually. Just rub it on there. Oh, I dropped it on the ground the other day, put a ding in it. Better, I might put this in the lathe and just polish the outside of that rather than do any more to this. Alright, so that's that bit out of the way. I need to hone this one as well, but before I do that I want to drill and tap the top here for another oiler, and I want to try and plug this up so that, and then give it a light sand. That is outside, I hope, of where that of this thing runs, so it shouldn't be too much of an issue. But anyway, so not going to do much more today, I don't think. What I will do is drill and tap that and bog this up and this up to give it time to set and go hard, and I'll get back onto it tomorrow. Alrighty, just a quickie this morning before I get on with things. First up, I was watching a video yesterday afternoon of an engine build, a different engine to this, and the guy polished his cylinder with a piece of Scotch-Brite. So I thought, oh, I'll give that a whirl. So I wrapped it, just got it to wrap around a piece of all thread and polished it up with that. So that improved the finish in there out of sight. There's something I want to do and I'm going to have to do is, I stuffed up the other day and I just didn't have the end cap right, and I tightened it and it broke the edge out here, and it's now linked that hole to the inside. So what I want to do there, and I meant to do it yesterday, is I'll just put a 4mm end mill down in here and stuff a bit of that epoxy in there. That one I showed you yesterday or the other day, it was a bit too old and was a bit too hard and didn't want to stick to anything, and it stuck in there alright, but that's about the bloody extent of it. Then I got hold of this stuff, and it is really soft and pliable and goes hard as a rock. And stuff up, what stuff up? So I've patched that one up in there, okay, that's not a problem, that's done. I've filled up all these little voids. I've decided I'm going to set this back up and mill and machine these bits here off level with that, both sides, just to tidy it up. And I've also patched up that bit where I took a chunk out of the side here. So that's that done. Flywheel, I finished playing around with that. This side looks well, acceptable. It'll look pretty good, I think, once it's all painted and everything. Going to paint the inside red, leave the outers unpainted. This side looks like a bit of a dog's breakfast, like it's taken a few whacks with the fugly stick. But I'm going to set it up so that when it's on the engine it'll be that way, so you see the good side more often than not. Anyway, that's where I'm at. Or other things I've done, I've drilled the hole in there that I hadn't got done before. What else have I done? I drilled and tapped this one you saw. I've also drilled and tapped the hole in there to attach that with. So all I really got left now to do is I want to extend the thread a bit on this, make the two screws, the one for that goes in here to hold the crosshead on, and the one that goes in here to hold that together. And that's about it. Oh, there is one other thing. I need to, which side does it go on? It goes in here. I need to drill and tap that yet, so I'll do that today. I can't finish. I might make the little brass bit up today too, but I can't finish it because I thought I had a 1/8 BSP tap, but I don't. When I checked it out, the one in the set, the cheap set I bought, is actually 1/8 NPT, so I had to order a 1/8 BSP. It'll be here at the earliest, probably tomorrow or the day after that. But I'm going to spend a couple of days painting all this stuff, so I've got time for it. Things like that to arrive. But I'm definitely going to get this finished this week, so I'll get on with a bit more later on. I'm baking bread at the moment. One down, one to go. So all I need to make Now there's another screw for the eccentric shaft, and we're done on these little screws. Didn't think I'd bore you making them. I'm just going to cut that off, clean the end up, and then cut a slot in it with a hacksaw. Couldn't be bothered trying to get the slitting saw out, put a little slot in the top of that. The smallest screws I've ever made, these two screws. They go in here. I kind of stuffed this up when I cut it off. I cut it off a bit short. But, do that screwdriver. Alright, still moves freely. And the other one, where's the other half of this? There. There's in here. Get on me. Aye. Fiddly bloody things. Fingers are too big for this stuff. It's a bigger screwdriver. There we go. Jesus, that's stiff. It's rubbing in the back here somewhere. Where's it rubbing? Rubbing there somewhere. Oh, hopefully it'll leave a mark. I'll be able to clean it up. I might just take a file of the inside of this one a little, or the outside of that one, and the other. Hopefully they will leave a mark rubbing like that, but it's definitely catching on something. Anyway, they're the last two bits. The only thing left to do now is drill and tap that hole in here, and that's everything finished. I've actually started on, I've undercoated and puttied up the tube base and the bit that sits on top of that. So it's getting late in the day now, it's going to be beer o'clock. Tomorrow I'll drill and tap that and make up, well, I'm still going to make that little brass adapter to go in here yet, so I'll do that tomorrow. Alrighty, so I'm going to make up that adapter, and to do that I'm going to machine the M5 part of it off centre. So, and to achieve that I've just put it in the 3 jaw. We used to make in the factory a little 1/8 BSP MNF elbow, but it had the 8th male dead centre and the 8th female in the side, but so that if you just drill that hole straight up through there, when you screw something into it, it'll just block it off. So to achieve, or to stop that from happening, when we drilled, we only drilled in a little way when we made it, and then when we were finishing it off, we had a jig to set it up, drop it in, and drill a hole at an angle down into the bottom of the 8th female hole. But by turning this off centre, I'll achieve basically the same thing. It'll bring the it'll give me more depth for that 8th thread without it blocking off the little hole I'm going to drill all the way in here. Anyway, let's do this. Almost hit 3. So alrighty, there we have it there. That tap will be here today. So I'll get that drilled and tapped once that gets here. Alrighty, just a quickie, a lesson on BSP. Now, considering I've made millions of brass fittings, nearly all with BSP threads, at least on one end, I kind of know what I'm talking about. This thing out of China is marked, and even the tap is marked the same way. It's very hard to read, but it is marked as G1/8, which is, I'm assuming, stands for gas. I was a little worried that it might show up as a tapered tap, and I don't want tapered. Most taps you buy in Australia will be called BSP-F, and it is the wrong tap. NPT threads are taper to taper, so taper male, taper female, but BSP connecting threads for, you know, tapered, there's taper to parallel, and the correct tap to use for the parallel side of it is BSPPL. I'll put it up here on the screen for you. That's BSPPL. Do not ask me what the PL on the end stands for, but it is slightly undersized. It's smaller than BSPF. BSPF is for you know, if you get a piece of threaded brass tube that nuts will run up and down, that's what BSPF is for making those threaded nuts, the free running nuts, not for tapping female holes to screw tapered threads into. But it'll be interesting to see what this comes out at. Alrighty, so is this a BSPF tap, or is that G signifying that it is actually a BSPPL tap? Let's see how it fits. No, I'd say that's BSPF, because that just screws in there too loosely. Anyway, a little bit of tape on that will suffice, and I stopped just shy of the hole in it. So you can see I've just stopped just short of the hole. I'll put a little chamfer on that in a minute, and it's pretty sloppy in there. So that's a BSPF tap, that thing. Bit of thread tape on there, lock it up, it'll be fine. Now the reason I wanted that offset was, look at that, I forgot to putty those things up yesterday, so I've only just done it this morning. And I think I'm pretty sure I've got it. Oh, that must bloody moved again. Jesus, it's looking hard real quick. The reason I wanted to, which side's it going? This goes on this side here. Because this slopes, I wanted to be able to screw that in and not have this crash into that, because I want to keep this edge about in line with that edge there. So that'll work out pretty jim and dandy, I think. Anyway, I'll just give this time to harden up this stuff. I might have to redo that. I just stuck this big long M4mm end mill up through the hole, and then puttied up beside it. Yeah, that's I want to put a bit more in that. I left it a bit proud so I could just give it a light sand afterwards to get it down flat, but that hasn't got enough in it. Alrighty, just leave the damn thing alone, sunshine, don't touch it again. Those holes don't look so stuffed up now. Anyway, once that goes hard, I'll drill and tap that hole in there. I undercoated and puttied all these things up yesterday, so I need to sit down and spend some time sanding all that up. Wondering why I painted these bolts. I intend to replace them with some stainless steel bolts. But I'll get all this sanded up. I won't make you watch all that. So when I've got something more concrete to show you, I'll come back to you. At this point in the video, I'd like to thank my patrons. This continued support is greatly appreciated. If you'd like to become a patron, there's a link down in the description. You can sign up there and drop me a couple of dollars every month. If you don't want to be a regular contributor, there's always buy me a coffee. Now, let's get back to the build. Alrighty, so there it is. Storm rumbling around here at the moment, so you might hear a bit of thunder. All finished, and they're still working on that damn house up the road, making just as much bloody noise as they have been for the last week and a half. All painted up. I went with a sparkling silver up here as a nod, I suppose, to the aluminium components in this. And originally I had a shitty finish on this end cap here, and I still got a little plug in the centre there, but what I did was I just put a fairly substantial centre punch mark in the centre, and then pressure turned it up against the chuck. Got a nice clean finish on it. And I've left these two and just polished them up with some Scotch Brite. I left them unpainted. The flywheel It actually doesn't look too bad either side. Even this bit with the fugly stick side doesn't look too bad. This side comes out really nice. Well, I reckon it looks bloody fantastic myself. It's a thing of beauty. Now, if you remember back to the beginning, I said the aim of this project was to build a functioning model engine without any plans, and that's what I think I've achieved. Now, I've actually had some air on this, and I know it works. So, but I do have air leaks. It leaks air around here. It's leaking air around the cylinder, around the back here. So those little Teflon rings I made, they're not really doing the job. Leaking a bit of air around this flange here. But anyway, let's put some air on it. I can hear it leaking there at the moment. I've got that set at about 35 psi. Because of the air leaks, I can actually feel that blowing down the back here. Anyway, let's go. Chuck, 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 chuck. Look at that. It lives. But that's about as low as I can get it before it stops because of the air leaks, I think. Anyway, I'd call that a success. An absolute winner. If you enjoyed watching me make this, make sure you give it a great big thumbs up and smash that like button, because you know it helps me out. So I think we can call that goals achieved. Now, before you go running off, I want to have a little face-to-face chat with you and ask you a question, like I indicated right at the beginning. So give me a moment and I'll go and swap positions and move over to the other side, and I'll have a chat with you. Alrighty, so I want to address a couple of things, two comments actually in particular. One what I see as a negative and one as possibly a positive. But anyway, my apologies for the length of time this particular video has dragged on for, but I skipped over a fair bit of stuff and I just didn't want to skip over everything. But anyway, put my glasses on. I wrote a few things down here so I can't see without my glasses. Also, I apologise for looking a little dishevelled and unshaved, but I only shave it every 3 days, and it's one of the reasons you don't see my face in the videos very often. Right, now, very early in the piece, I think it was episode 2, I got this comment which kind of astounded me really. And it says, and he's a long-term viewer of my channel, I think, but he said, "I hate to say it, but a telltale sign of a dying machining channel are steam engine and kit builds. They are both boring and pointless. Nothing is as interesting to watch as an original idea coming to fruition as something useful such as a machine, tool or shop project." Now, I've got to say that for the last 3 odd years I've done nothing but build machines and tools to use on those machines, and I reckon it's about damn time I started using them to make something, which was the whole reason I built them in the first place. So I've got a few notes here I want to keep referring to them. Now, to me, surely, you know, making a model, machining is machining, surely that's what it is. And if all you're doing is making a model, especially if they're only little tiny itsy bitsy little parts, all you're doing, or what you're doing, is testing your skills and abilities and honing those skills and abilities. Thank God nobody ever told Joe Pye that making models would kill his channel, because God, I mean, we would have missed out on all those fantastic little models he makes. Now, they're not engines, they're usually mills or drill presses or lathes or whatever, but they're still models and they're still, you know, making that sort of stuff. So that's all I wanted to say about that. Now, there was another comment where another long-time viewer of mine said, "Why don't you have a crack at making an internal combustion engine?" And I sort of fobbed him off and sort of went, "Nah, too hard, you know, I don't really want to do that." But I started having a bit of a look around, and I've watched 2 full builds now of a Webster engine. One of them by Matty up there. Matty did a fantastic job. In fact, he built 2 of the damn things. Gave one of them away. So anyway, I had a hunt around, and I found a full set of metric plans for a Webster engine, and I'm seriously contemplating having a go at it. Now, I would think that the 9 weeks it took me to build this little steam engine from scratch without any plans to pale into insignificance if I stick with my, not spending too many hours a day out here. So that's the question I wanted to ask, and I'm glad you hung around, and also who just who hangs around till the end of my videos. Question is, do you or do you not want to watch me build a Webster engine? There's plenty of other videos out there of people doing it. So let me know down in the description, and by all means, don't hold back. Tell me what you think. Do you want to watch it? Yes or no? Alright, so once again, I want to thank everybody for watching this series, especially those who stuck through and watched all 9 episodes of it. It was quite challenging. I'm really quite proud of what I made. It's not perfect by any stretch of the imagination, but it's a functioning engine, and I'm really happy about that, especially considering I had no plans and I made all the castings. So alright, thanks again, and I'll see you next time. Oh, by the way, if I do make that Webster engine, it won't be the next lot of videos. I do have some things I need to attend to, like the knot on the mill. I need to sort that out, because this Webster engine is going to need a bit more precision than I got into that steam engine. And my bandsaw needs sorting out. There's a problem with that I need to sort out. And this place needs a damn good clean up, because there's just crap from one end to the other after 9 weeks of doing this. So alright, till next time, bye bye.